It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream as we continue along with live, crystal clear, static-free content here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com as we work our way through another day of content and more Oil Stream discussion. Matt, are you going to bring me the mouse? Yeah, nice. All right, excellent. Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning.
Good.
Sorry I was
Good morning.
tardy.
It's
legit tardy today. I have to apologize to...
Did you get to the reason for that on the hangout, or?
It's not as sexy as people might think. Like,
damn.
I want to tell you I had a great, crazy night celebrating a tremendous ESD client mixer /
Which was awesome.
Thank you to everyone who came out last night. I met Jack Cookson, Ken from...
You'd never met Cookson before?
I had never met...
Unbelievable.
Maybe we had crossed paths earlier, but an actual opportunity to discuss. And Ken and I from Pro-Am got into a lengthy discussion about the Heritage Classic jerseys. There's some news on the Heritage Classic, the aesthetic of the stadium. We'll get into that today. But I wish I went out hard, got crazy on a Tuesday night.
That's what I kind of thought happened.
No, I left my laptop at home on my desk in my office.
Seriously?
And I had to go circle back and go and pick it up.
That's the story?
It's awful. This is where we're at now.
That's extremely disappointing,
I'm
buddy.
so sorry.
Man, we thought you were up having a quickie or whatever.
No.
Man, that's we live vicariously through you.
Sometimes I
You forgot the
have a good
laptop?
time. That's it. I leave my backpack by the door.
Yeah.
And I have it all ready the night before.
That's what I do too, actually.
And I picked it up and I had my coffee. I started driving and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I left my laptop. Pulled over, checked, and it's like, yeah, I did forget my laptop. So I had to go back. And this is the other thing, too, is driving in normal hours instead of before where I would just walk to the rink and didn't have to go into the studio for a show at 9 in the morning back at the 1260 days. I actually realized the frustrations of rush hour traffic, and they are awful. There are some absolutely terrible drivers out there. And then volume is a problem. So whenever our good friend Pauline Higgins would talk about volume backing things up, I get it. And it's like, oh, my God.
Do that voice again.
Volume backing things up.
That's also the easiest cop-out in the history of traffic.
The volume?
Volume's always backing things up.
Always volume.
That's the main reason things get backed up is because of the volume,
I
right?
know, but so I didn't have a good, excuse of, Tommy did it again. No, I literally just forgot my laptop on my desk.
We'll pretend and imagine it was something way more.
I wish I had a better story for everyone. I'm sorry. I feel like I've let you down.
No, that's okay. But I mean, you let us down a little bit.
Yeah.
You let us down a little bit, but no, it was all right. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Let's go. Oil Stream up and running, 780-218-9999. And this says, come on, Tommy, stick with the had trouble getting out of the damn apartment story this morning. Yeah.
Oh, I got out of it, just missing an essential piece of work. So, whoops. That's a dumb move on my part.
Christopher Morris on the Nasty Chat here says, missed the postgame show because I was watching on a delay, but I caught my first pregame show on the new format, and it was top-notch. The clear choice indeed. So that's kind of nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate that. It's finding its groove now is how I would describe.
It's still pretty early, but it's coming along, right?
I mean, the elements from the old one are there. That's the framework, but now with us being on YouTube, that added layer to it, we're figuring it out. But it's coming along really nicely, and we've got a great team. Gager stepping in for Cass because Cass had to take care of some stuff and wasn't available for postgame. You're going to be seeing Gager more. You're going to be seeing Sean Bell more, and Cass is our go-to analyst as well. But we just it's evolving and it's growing and it's starting to create its own kind of feel, and that's the beauty of this format where it's more. There's more to it. There's more layers to it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, there's definitely more layers to it.
And we can do much more with it.
I think, we can do whatever the hell we want, which is nice. So
Yeah.
if you have any questions, hit us up in the nasty chat, or you can text us 780-218-9999. I mean, an easy one off the top that we'll get to in just a second. But, I mean, what excited you the most about last night's victory? We'll get into that as we work our way through this episode. Portions of the Oil Stream every single day, brought to you by Boston Pizza. Watch the Oilers at Boston Pizza. $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off tankards of Canadian or Coors Light, and $5.50 shots of Fireball, Jaeger, Burt Reynolds, Purple Rain, and Honey Jack at Boston Pizza. I was chatting with Tara and Sean and the team from Boston
And
Pizza
Neil.
last night. Neil was here.
Pizzas were great.
They brought in the pizzas for the.
Thank you, guys.
By the way, shout out to Pasta Pantry. They tweeted us too, and they're like, "Hey, we'll cater the next one."
Pasta Pantry, man, they're funny. I would slide to their DMs every now and then. Yeah.
They're fun. But yeah, so Boston Pizza brought the pizza last night. As always, it was delicious.
Yep.
But then I was talking with them last night, and we usually do like a live oil stream.
Yes, we haven't done one in 2 months.
No, we haven't. We didn't do one last month. Well, what we're probably going to do is next Tuesday, Oilers Wild. We're going to do pre and post from the Capilano Boston Pizza. I'm just waiting for an email on it to be 100% confirmed.
Awesome.
Full-blown Edmonton Sports Talk watch party. Next Tuesday night, Capilano Boston Pizza.
Yep.
I call it Capilino.
It happens.
It works. Capilano Boston Pizza. Pre-game, sit around, watch the game. Post-game, you can be there live, literally watching the game and then texting into the post-game show that's happening right there at the Capilano Boston Pizza. So it's like 95% confirmed, but we're going to kind of take pre and post on the road for a run just to kind of see
Test it.
if it works at Boston Pizza next Tuesday. And I will say this, the more people we get out, the better. So make plans to join us. It's a road game against Minnesota. They should probably do pretty well. Could end up being a really good night at Boston Pizza. And $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off tankards of Canadian or Coors Light, and then $5.50 shots of Fireball, Jaeger, Burt Reynolds, Purple Rain, and Honey Jack. And for those of you who are like, yeah, but if I come, I won't be able to hear. But you will, because we have the speakers that we will set up. So you will hear the pregame show and the postgame show live in the Boston Pizza Lounge at Capilano on Tuesday. 95% locked in.
Okay, that sounds good, because Tara was hinting at our next on location. She did mention to me next week. And I was talking to Neil from BP, and he was telling me about the upcoming menu and the additions to the pizzas.
Additions? Oh, yeah.
He told yeah.
It's like,
it's going to be
thicker,
good.
Right?
Yeah, and he was very excited about
exciting.
one of them. He's like, our cooks and chefs aren't going to be too happy, because with this one that has like this drizzle in multicolor, it's like 47 times over the pizza.
No, it's
with this
not.
Yes.
47 times?
He said it's 47 individual with the 3 different colors.
That seems completely unnecessary.
And, I mean, this one, it hits me close to home, because the colors are red, white, and green. And the type of pizza that we're talking about here, that's going to be my go-to when it's available.
All right. Well, we will let you know if this is not happening, but start planning that it is happening. Capilano Boston Pizza next Tuesday. Oilers pre and post game show with Tommy Gazzola. And pop by. Chris Morris there says Capilano BP. That's my hood. I'll see you guys.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's good.
Chris.
Let's get. I mean, it'll probably already be but let's I want to see standing room only. I want Boston Pizza to be like, holy shit, why are there so many people here? You know,
good.
That would be good. So that'll be a good time. All right, 780-218. 9999 780-218-9999. What excited you the most? You get that bunting thing?
Damon texted and he's like, I'm loving the support.
Oh, yeah. We got to get that face on there.
There you go. There's Damon.
Hey, these will be here until we drink all the waters.
Well, and distribute
this is my
them
second one
amongst
today.
Our guests.
The second one.
They're great.
It's pretty good.
The spray
I'm
cap.
pretty impressed with how water stays good in a bottle for a long time. You know, is there really much of a difference between tap water and bottled water if you have it in the fridge? Not really. I don't think so. I mean, I might be jumping the gun on this. Tommy,
Yes.
Post-game, what was the sense that you were getting from people? What were they most excited
I think
about?
relief is the first word that comes to mind. And I mean, the Oilers put an exclamation mark on that game. Total stamp on it, right? I think people said, well, there they are. That's the team we're expecting. And yeah, they still have it. I don't think a lot of people were on the ledge. There was some text in the nasty chat last night that were like, "Hey, are you and Dusty coming off the ledge, Tommy?" And it's like, no. But we were playing into the emotions of the night prior. So, relief is the first one. The Draisaitl dominance of the Nashville Predators continues. Unbelievable numbers. 22 goals and 12 assists in his last 12 games against the Nashville Predators. So that was abundantly clear that he just feels at home at Bridgestone Arena. And so, too, does the rest of the team. Good to see Zach Hyman have a big night as well. Nugent Hopkins, multi-point game. McDavid, marvelous, obviously. That a little bit of luck on the Alexander Carrier whiff.
Yeah, that was wild.
But you get a 41 save performance from Jack Campbell. So I think that overall the sense was of relief, and then people could, exhale a little bit. And so the joy in the first win, you get the stench and the foul taste of the Canucks losses out of there. And then tomorrow, you reshift and set your sights on the Philadelphia Flyers, who just beat the Canucks.
They shut them out.
25 saves for Carter Hart. And it's not going to be easy, but that's a game you go into going, if you play well, if you continue the things you did the night before in Nashville, you should come out of Philly with a couple of points as well. Do you want to clean some stuff up? Yeah, of course. 42 shots against, not ideal, but it really seemed like a much more open game. Nashville willing to go run and gun with the Oil as opposed to Vancouver, very tight checking and having a singular focus against the Edmonton Oilers, and Rick Tocchet, instilling that mindset. And then Rick Tocchet going out and giving his team crap last night.
I saw, he kind of lost it after.
Yeah,
this guy's got very high standards.
Well, and I mean, talk about keeping your team in check with just how you lash out at them publicly. Or maybe he lashes out at them publicly and then inside the room gives them the, come on, boys, the old hug or arm around the shoulder. Was it Dave Tippett talked about it? It was Tom McClellan. Sometimes you need to know when to put your arm around the player's shoulder. Sometimes you need to know when you need to give them a kick in the pants.
All right, let's get into a few of your messages. I mean, if I had to rank them, how's the hair look, Tommy? I got a haircut a couple days ago.
Actually, not bad.
Does it look as good as yours? Does it look as good as yours?
Mine's got product. It's full of Swedish hair cream.
Product.
Chantal will be taking care of my hair today.
I did. Today?
Today.
You got a haircut today?
I'm getting one today.
What time?
3.
Oh, perfect. Right after the meeting.
Yeah, today's a busy Wednesday, but
today is a busy Wednesday.
I'm looking forward to the meeting, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a good meeting today. Well, and
it's gonna be delicious.
Maddie's bringing in those Sandies so that's gonna be good.
Say it right. It's paninis.
Oh, what?
The paninos.
Oh, okay. But they're not squished right down.
Panini does not to be. Panini is the Italian word for sandwich.
Are you serious?
For real.
I thought paninis were basically what?
You think of the grilled? Yeah, that's technically a panini.
Yeah, that's how I view panini.
If you're an Italian, you either call a sandwich
I'm
a
not
panini,
Italian. I'm Canadian.
Or if you butcher Italian or butcher English, what a lot of Italians do, you call it a sanguich.
Sanguich.
Throw a G in there.
Panini sanguich.
Yeah.
Does that sound
You
Italian?
can do that too.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah,
all right. Well, consider me Italian. That's
okay.
That's good to hear. No, if I had to rank these. Let's say I'll do 3 most exciting things about last night's game.
Okay.
1, Nuge, Hyman, Fogle, looking like maybe something that you could run if you want to have McDavid and Draisaitl together. It's always like when you put McDavid and Draisaitl together, you always go, oh, but what else is there going to be? Now it's just one game.
Yes.
I'm not sure they actually play that well ever again. But if they can, then you're onto something. So. Best thing about last night's game, the emergence of a line that we dubbed. There's 2 names for it. We had a lot of names come in today. We're trying to name this line this morning.
Why am I not surprised?
Of course. Yeah. Woody's Warriors, which was a fun one.
Okay.
But the super bad line, which is somebody already referenced it to that. Yeah. Coach Mike says, and we can kind of tie this into it right now. What does the super bad line have to stay together? What's a reasonable expectation? That's in from Coach Mike. Super bad line, Fogle. Mm-hmm. Fogle. Yes. Nuge, Michael Cera.
Yes.
And Zach Hyman, Steph. So I think it works really well. So the super bad line.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I don't know if it is them staying together dictated by them, or is them staying together dictated by whatever happens with McDavid and Draisaitl, or McDavid and Draisaitl now dictated by the super bad line?
No, McDavid, Draisaitl, they set the course for everything, right? Okay. Depending on how.
But why would you ever split them up if the super bad line's actually a thing?
Because I think ultimately over time, if the super bad line is a viable option, for short periods of time, that's great. But I think you're still stronger when you have McDavid, Draisaitl, McLeod or Nugent-Hopkins centering their own lines. I truly believe that depth, and we saw it again. We go back to the playoffs, but Vegas Golden Knights went on to the Cup win, beat the Oilers. They had that strength. Every line was coming at you a certain way, and they had trust in one another. And I think that's the recipe right now for success. And the Oilers have the ability, or should be able to, put together a pretty solid 12 forwards to kind of mimic that. But for the time being, and in jams, when you need to get out of an 0-2 hole, you throw some things together, and we get the super bad line, and that is, I think, a pleasant surprise. And, maybe the coaches go, well, we knew, so-and-so was so-and-so, this works that way. But it's a pleasant surprise. And I'm sure that if they continue to have success, say they play again together tomorrow, and they put together a nice game, then they'll probably be together on Saturday against the Jets, at least to start, because we know there's this willingness, and Jay Woodcroft's very quick to switch things up when he senses things aren't working. So, but to know that you have something that you can keep in your pocket in a time where you need to mix it up is a good tool to have, or it's another bullet to use, if you will, whatever reference you want to make or metaphor you want. But I think it's been a pleasant surprise. So let's see if it continues. I'm guessing they'll stay the same tomorrow. And then depending on how the results go tomorrow, we might see it Saturday as well. Or if the Oilers feel like Winnipeg's a deeper team than Nashville and Philly, they split up McDavid and Draisaitl, and they hope that, that top 9 works well, and they can throw some waves at the Jets.
780-218-9999 in the inbox if you'd like to chime in, if you are listening live right now at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And, of course, you can hit us up in the Nasty Chat as well. Jack is on there and says, Hatless Dusty, did he lose a Cool Bet sponsorship? No, first of all, we don't lose a Cool Bet. We only deliver winners.
Hey,
like
you guys.
The parlay last night.
I heard you guys screaming.
How great was that?
I was like, oh, they must have hit on the parlay.
Yeah, it was a no sweater.
Yeah.
It was a no-sweat parlay win last night, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, like yesterday, we had Pat on our show this morning on the Nielsen show, and Patty said, you know what, like within 10 minutes of us putting together that Edmonton Sports Talk parlay yesterday, they had 30 tickets on it.
Damn. And
then that just continues to go up throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
So people were hopping all over it, which means we kind of rinse Cool Bet last night. Now, they'll get us back. Oh. It's really weird because it's like this great relationship we have with Cool Bet, but at the same time, it's a fierce rivalry because we're trying to take money from them. They're trying to take all our money, and it's really like a love-hate relationship.
Ultimate frenemies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
Yeah.
With money
I like
on
that.
the line every day.
780-218-9999. Guys, the super bad line is gold. And Rip City Step says, you actually calling it the super bad line is killing me right now. And actually, here, this guy, he did the...
Did Glenn do it, or did...
No, this was Rip City Step, I think.
Rip City Step.
I'm going to tweet this out right now.
I'm impressed with people's ability to Photoshop. Like, I think Glenn Ma did.
You're surprised by Photoshop abilities?
Yeah, I mean, no, not surprised.
Impressed
more so than anything. Like, the one where it has the 4 of us as Anchorman, brilliant. I had to make it my header in X.
Yeah, that was good. That's coming on one of the beer labels, too. I think it's from Glenn.
Glenn did that one. Hat tip of the cap to Glenn on that one. I had to use it, so thank you, Glenn.
All right, so number 1 for me from last night's game would be the super bad line. Number 2 for me, and we mentioned the shots against. So you a big score effects guy?
No.
Like you get up, you're not a big score effects guy?
I'm not.
Okay, so you're just saying play through the score effects, play your game.
Yeah.
Don't say, they only give it that many shots because they were leading 4-0.
It's not like I don't disrespect score effects, but it's just like you look
They gave him quite a few shots in the first.
Yeah,
right?
They did. But
my number 2 thing is Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Like that was a really nice game from Jack Campbell.
It was.
Yeah.
He made some brilliant saves, acrobatic saves, old school saves. The Scorpion, obviously, the goal mouth with the glove on the line, that was a great stop, great scramble. And a couple people texted in and said, are you concerned with how much the Oilers gave up? Yeah, but if you're going open type of game where you're running and gunning with the Preds, I suppose you're going to give those up. And the Oilers aren't going to fix their defensive woes overnight. But if there are small incremental steps in the right direction, if they're giving lots of shots off the rush, like that, neutral zone play, transitional play needs to be tightened up a little bit. They had a very minimal skate today. Only a handful of guys skated. I actually have the list right here. It was McLeod, Broberg, Skinner, Ernie, and Desharnais skated in Philadelphia today. So I suppose tomorrow when they go out there for the morning skate, they might work on some of that
McLeod's
stuff.
still trying to get some reps in, probably.
I
get
think
back
so.
Up to speed. That
Yeah,
when
you miss so much time. But it wasn't a perfect game by any means. The score was great. They took advantage of their offensive opportunities. Chased an excellent goalie. Like, there's so much good. It outweighs the bad, clearly. It completely overshadows it. But, yeah, it was not a flawless game for the Oilers. And as Joaquin Gage said last night, this early in seasons, teams are still finding themselves, discovering who they are, even though they're, generally the same roster as last year. Each year, the team has a bit of a different feel or somewhat of an evolution, whatever you want to call it. And we're still in those very early stages. And then by about game 10, we have an idea of what the identity generally is. And it does evolve, but a little bit slower than the first 10 games.
So those are the two things that I was really excited about. As for the third, a lot of other good things happened last night. Leon Draisaitl, somebody mentioned next time they play the Preds, we should have the Who's Your Daddy parlay. And it's just a Draisaitl thing. We could definitely do that with our partners at CoolBet. What else did I like last night?
What else? Daddy likes.
Yeah, those are the two big ones and the two most important ones. I guess I just circle back around to Connor McDavid's goal. Like, it wasn't lucky from him, but because he's brilliant,
opportune.
But it was lucky that the puck came back to him in that situation, right? Like,
yeah.
1,000 times, 999 times of 1,000, he gets spun around like that. Clear play on the puck for the Preds, and they miss it. McDavid happens to spin right back in, and he's like, oh, look, the puck.
Hey, there it is.
And, of course, he's going to bury it in that situation, but it didn't make it any less spectacular, but a lot of things had to go wrong for Nashville for McDavid to execute his brilliance.
And, hat tip to Alexander Carrier for completely whiffing on the puck. But kudos to McDavid because the play he made on the wall, the intention was for him to get it back. He gets spilled, spins around, has the conscious of mind to get himself forward and upright, facing the Nashville net, knowing that that's where he put the puck and where he wanted it to go. And then fortuitous that Alexander Carrier absolutely blows by it, and McDavid just capitalizes. It is a brilliant goal. There were, the sequence of events that had to happen for it to become a reality. Incredible in their own right, but he made it happen. And it's also, I don't think it's a coincidence that the greatest ones are the ones that get those breaks.
I know. It's just how it works.
Yeah. And that's just one where you chef's kiss. You're like, wow, that guy messed up so bad. Wow, did it against the best player in the world. And then you get that magical highlight reel from like 15 different camera angles that will be etched in time forever digitally.
All right, we'll get to some of your questions as well, but CoolBet Canada, huge part of what we're doing here at Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're betting on the Oilers, you're betting them with CoolBet.com. Watch for Edmonton Sports Talk exclusives. Get a little bit of boost on those as well. Those boosts are only available at CoolBet Canada, thanks to our partnership with them. All right, let's dive into the nasty chats. Let's see here. D. White's asking, what are your thoughts on Broberg's performance last night? Tommy, what'd you think of the young guy?
He did play the least amount of anyone last night on defense. I think, and this was a theme, D. White, last night that we talked about, is, it's not – he's going to be under the microscope because he's this, highly touted first rounder. Is he going to pop? Is he not going to pop? But I think we talked about it, Joaquin and I, post-game. We're seeing the leash. He's got leash right now, right? And they're giving him games to slowly build up his game. And you don't have to be at peak performance in Game 3 of the regular season, especially as a guy who's just developing. We went through this with Evan Bouchard a couple of years ago. Remember the year he played 15 games, and then the next year he's playing with Duncan Keith, and there were some nights where you're like, ugh, it just doesn't seem like he's there. And in years past, maybe there wasn't as much patience for the young defenseman, and I think we're witnessing that with Philip Broberg. So some good moments, realizing when to take the ice when it's there. Maybe he's heeding the advice of Matthias Ekholm and starting to use his feet and make plays and get his head up and realizing he does have an extra half second. But it's not all going to come together at once. So I think, for me, we're witnessing him get some leash from the coaching staff, and that's a sign that they at least want to help him develop and get the experiences and lessons at the NHL level right now. Now, if he goes out tomorrow and makes, 3 egregious mistakes and it potentially costs them the game, Vinny Desharnais comes in.
Stick with the blue line for a second and get to this text at 780-218-9999. Nurse needs some love. That's a solid game.
Yep.
He needs to realize that he's not Makar, and he needs to be pure grease in front of the net.
That's a good point. 25 minutes for Nurse yesterday, and people, the comments we were getting were, hey, he was kind of quiet. And it's like, that's a good thing.
That's
exactly.
Good.
That's the first thing I thought of was a quiet night from Darnell Nurse where he's not all over the place, I think is pretty good. So, yes, more of those, and I think Oiler fans will be pleased. And so 25-30, controlled, contained, solid. Donuts across the board point-wise, but
numbers,
a +1, 2
penalties,
minutes, a couple hits,
well
and a couple
there.
shots. Yeah, exactly.
It'll come. I mean,
yes.
Just take care of business.
He'll get his cookies.
Anyway.
So that is a good point. I'm glad because so many times we talk about the negative games and the negative plays that Nurse puts the Oilers through, and rightly so. But when he does have a good night, it is fair to recognize that, and that's a good point. Yesterday, 25 minutes and a half of just solid, quiet play from Darnell Nurse.
Mike Corky on the Nasty Chat says, I watched that play several times to see if McDavid somehow lifted Carrier's stick while he was spinning. Now, that would have been something else.
He did it with his eyes.
God, it's like, now I haven't watched the movie The Flash, and I don't know much about the Flash character, except like he moves so quickly that everything else is like stopped around him.
Yes.
That's how I imagine McDavid, like he starts to spin, then moves so quickly nobody can see it. He goes over, he puts the puck up and just flips it over Carrier's stick, and then gets back into his spin, gets up, grabs the puck, boom.
I love that Flash reference because last night I was watching all the Michael Keaton scenes from The Flash. That's how exciting my night was. Because I love original Batman. Like, not Adam West,
but you didn't watch Flash?
Oh, I went to the theater to see it.
Oh, you did see it? Was it good?
I really liked it.
I want to see it.
I don't like, what's that, Ezra, the guy
who does the Flash.
He's an absolute piece of crap person.
Yeah.
But the movie, like, if you put that aside, I loved it. And the fact that, you hear that the Tim Burton Batman, that just gets me going.
So you did like that then? So you like the Flash reference?
I watched like 20 minutes of whatever scenes Michael Keaton Batman was in last night after I got home last night. So that's how wild my night was. But I love the Flash reference. Maybe he did do that, McDavid. He's got Flash.
He's that quick. He just right back in.
Yep.
Nobody would have known. Nobody would have known it at all. This text in from Coach Mike says, guys, in the postgame show last night, did Gager he would say he would start Campbell versus Philly?
I'm trying to remember. I think he said Skinner. And
did he say Skinner? I'll text him.
And then go with Campbell against the. Oh no, maybe he did. I can't remember, but we did have this conversation, and I do remember him saying at some point one of these guys has to earn the net. Right now it is early lead Jack Campbell, absolutely, but yeah, double check.
Well, somebody watching might remember too.
I think he said he would go with Campbell.
Who would you go with?
I'd go back to Skinner tomorrow and then have Campbell ready to go for Winnipeg. Because I think, as I said last night on the postgame show, to me, like, I'm not overlooking the Philadelphia Flyers, but I think given how tough the Jets can and have played the Oilers, that's the big game this weekend. And you need your guy for that game.
Interesting theory. That's an interesting theory.
And there's so many.
That's the first time I'm in the process. Like, my thought process is run back Campbell. He had a really good game.
And I'm okay with that too.
And yeah, I know, but you do and I think I said it this morning right off the top of the show. I said, we're going to be asked this question a lot. Who should start, Campbell or Skinner? And I said, stop it. You go back to Campbell. But I mean, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from starting Campbell against Philly, and if he's awesome again, starting him against Winnipeg?
You can do that,
right? Like you could do that.
And I think Joaquin went down that road yesterday because he's like, you don't want the other guy sitting around twiddling his thumbs.
I got the text from Gager. Gager says he did say Skinner yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need Skinner, and you're going to need him to find his game. And I don't think you have to toss him the easy ones. Like, he had one bad start. Because let's remind ourselves, he's had one start. And in his mind, he said it outwardly. He let in one goal that he'd like to have back. And then when he went in garbage time in Vancouver, that game was gone. They weren't coming back from that. Even at 4-1 when they got that one, they weren't coming back. They were in such a hole, and you could tell it was a wasted night on opening night for the Oilers. So Skinner is probably itching to go.
I was going to say, has this been confirmed one way or the other?
What?
If Skinner's going to start yet?
I don't think so.
I'm just putting up a poll. Who should start versus Philly? We'll see where
that's how you do that on the nasty chat.
It's pretty slick.
I'm learning something new here.
Yeah, and then you just go start poll, boom. And to add the poll, Tommy, quick YouTube, see this little plus button?
Yeah.
Go like that right there.
Nice. Okay.
And then you just add the poll. So we'll see. Vote on the poll that we just threw up.
I voted.
You voted already?
Yeah, I voted.
Man, I didn't think we were going to be allowed to vote because we're the hosts.
Well, I have.
That's okay.
Somehow I wound up with 2 YouTube accounts, and so this one's allowing me to vote. I went with Skinner.
Oh, it's a nice little battle right now.
And it's going back and forth.
It's going back and forth. Look at all these votes flying in. Yeah. Campbell, 55, 61%, 69% nice, 63%.
Okay, cool. That's neat.
67%. Yeah, you can see them kind of come in right there.
I like that.
All right, so, yeah, I mean, about 2 out of every 3 said they would go back to Campbell. I think Campbell just gave you a good game. Put Campbell back in. If Campbell's stellar again, give him the Jets.
But then are you burying Skinner already? Or no?
I don't think it. I mean, to me, burying a goalie is he doesn't play for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
this wouldn't be burying a goalie. He could start against Minnesota on Tuesday.
Spread out the schedule to start.
Yeah, I don't think you're burying him.
Are we creating a scenario here? Are we creating a dilemma?
Well, we're not trying to create a dilemma or controversy. I just think it's a fair conversation.
I think it's a natural conversation.
Yeah, I didn't think you could make a case for Skinner to start Philly. And anything anybody would convince me that you can make a case for it. But what you said, what Gager said, and what you're saying right now, I got some time for the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But are you only starting Skinner so that Campbell's rested for the Jets? Because I don't think it's early in the season. They're not back-to-backs. Jack Campbell should be able to roll out there for 3 games in 5 days.
Yes.
So,
interesting. Not even a dilemma. It's just kind of like a conundrum. And it's not a bad one.
Let's see here. 67% of people are on
Campbell
to start again. And then kind of see where it goes from there. This one says, give Skinner a chance to respond in the goalie battle.
That one from Matt.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm okay with that. I think I voted for Skinner. So, and then
Skinner in Philly and reward Soup for the great effort with Saturday night. Yeah, but
that's how that was my kind of.
Okay, but you're rewarding him for a great effort with like a Saturday night start. Like, wouldn't you want to reward him with a great effort by giving him the very next start? He's probably going to start Saturday night anyway, whether it was a great effort or not. So I don't know if that's really rewarding by saying you don't get to play next game. You'll play the next one.
But Jay said this the other day, too, that they have a schedule or plan in place already for their goalies, and they're kind of sticking to it.
So if Skinner comes out and struggles again, you're going to stick to the schedule? No chance.
Good point.
I don't think that would make sense. So I mean, you can say that, but if if Campbell's next 2 starts are excellent and Skinner's next 2 starts are not good, you're going to stick to his schedule?
Northside Lou via our text line 780-218-9999. Northside Lou says Skinner tomorrow. Campbell gets his first home game against the Jets. Then the hottest goalie gets the next start. Northside Lou.
So why doesn't the hottest goalie get this next start right now?
Is it because it's so early in the season factor?
But 6 days from now isn't still early. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd start Campbell, and if he plays extremely well, I'd play him again against the Jets. That's not what'll happen. It'll probably be Skinner. But what if Skinner lets in 3 against the Flyers, and then you're 1-3 on the year, and you're going, well, why the hell didn't you start the guy who just put in maybe his best performance as an Oiler in the regular season?
That comment will happen multiple times if that scenario plays out. Guaranteed.
Kevin says on the Nasty Chat, Skinner had his chance to respond in Game 2 and looked worse than Game 1. Campbell earned it last night with the win. So we'll see. Parts of the Oil Stream are brought to you by One Putt Virtual Golf. Did you meet the crew last night?
I did. They're awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice.
They're so cool.
Yeah. They're excited about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're excited about what we're doing, and we're excited about what we're doing, and we're excited about what they're doing.
Yes.
So it's a nice
awesome.
little setup.
And it's a married couple.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like
they're like our age. They love golf. And go ahead. I want to talk about One Putt.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So One Putt Virtual Golf, brand new facility featuring 6 TrackMan bays, same technology that they're running on the PGA Tour. Perfect spot for group events, birthday parties, Christmas parties. Also a great spot to go watch your Edmonton Oilers play hockey games. You can do that at One Putt Virtual Golf. You get the bay, you got the TV, you got the bevies, you got the video game for the kids. Really, I mean, if you have like family friends with kids, get 2 or 3 families together, go hit the links, watch the game, play some arcade games, and check it out. It's a kid-friendly place, free arcade. What?
Yes.
Free arcade,
Yes.
complimentary snacks, and a large selection of adult bevies. You can find One Putt Virtual Golf at 6816 178th Ave, North Edmonton. And I do think, I'll double check on this. I think it's just, is it oneputt.ca? I think it's oneputt.ca.
Yeah, I was just.
But I'll just double check on that. I didn't have that in these most recent notes.
Oneputt.ca.
It's oneputt.ca.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm talking to the One Putt crew, and I was like, well, you guys are clearly golfers. And they're like, yeah.
One Putt with the number 1.
Yes, One Putt with the number 1.
And you go check out the video right now. It looks sick.
So the 6 bays is good. Lots of space, too, in there. So you're comfortable. You can move it around if you have a big group going. And then if you're not playing, the TVs are there. But then the arcade is free.
Yeah.
And it's all like the games we grew up with. Like, we were talking yesterday, Marvel vs. Capcom, The Simpsons. No Ninja Turtles, but I'm working on them about that one.
Ninja Turtles would come as a 4-player, I think.
Yeah.
I've seen that at some hockey tournaments. Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you've just created like our childhood dream. And he goes, yeah, basically. And kids, they have half price rates for kids.
Okay.
So kids can come play as well, get them to fall in love with the game of golf or just have a good time.
I like
all inclusive type of thing.
I like what you just said, how like they created like our dream as a kid.
Yes.
Because we've also created our dream as a kid.
Yeah.
Like just calling your own shots, talking sports with your buddies. It's great. And that's what they've done, but from a golf perspective.
I was just, my eyes lit up because long story short, we do Gazzola Boys on Sundays golf. We didn't get to do it enough this summer. Lots of crap happened, obviously.
A ton of stuff going on.
And so I was telling them, I'm like, well, we're going to be coming out there because, for my brother, my uncle, my dad, myself, that's more convenient. And by the way, it's one of the few locations on the north side, if not the only one. So I think it's going to be a busy spot. So I was like, we want to get the Sunday Gazzola Boys golf going again. And we're going to be heading down there a lot. We're going to be playing Pebble Beach terribly. We're going to be doing
That's kind of cool. What'd you do? I sucked at Pebble Beach today.
Yeah. The wind got me. I was in the water all day long. But anyway.
I'm just tweeting out their website right now.
Yeah.
Because if you go look at the website, great website, and you get a real good feel for what's going on over at One Putt.
And this isn't a big company. This is a mom and pop shop, literally a married couple, our age.
It looks it looks like something, like with the bays and the setup.
Yeah.
It looks like something you find in Vegas. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it looks pretty cool.
It is cool.
And
well done. The ability, you got room to move around there. It is a great setup. So great to partner with them. They're excited and we're excited, and it's just really neat. So yes, heading out there.
Pass Natch on the Nasty Chat says it opened up right by my house. Absolutely awesome place.
Yep.
And all we have to do is get them some exposure, because I feel like once you get to One Putt once, you'll be back at One Putt once again. Yep. 6816 178th Ave, North End. Number 1 oneputt.ca. Oneputt.ca is the website. I just tweeted out a link to it, and it says right there, why is One Putt the best virtual golf in Edmonton? ? And then it's got the answers for you.
Boom.
So, yeah, you can go check it out. Great partners. And, yeah, it was great to meet them last night for the first time. Exchanged a bunch of emails, got the deal done, and then to meet them last night at the client mixer. It was awesome.
It was a good time.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. RCN makes an interesting point on this goaltender conversation. Nobody would be saying give Campbell a chance to fight back if the roles were reversed.
Because I think, and RCN does make a good point.
It's a good point. That's a fair aspect of this combo.
Because I believe, in my mind, why RCN says this is because of what happened last year, the memory of last year, and the way his season tanked last year is still fresh in our memory banks. And that impression has not gone away. That's why, I think. I understand why he says that, and that's my rationale for why I think he's saying that. And I think it's a natural instinct.
Yeah.
Because
I'm thinking of Friday morning on our show if Skinner sucks and they lose to Philly. Then you could have avoided that by playing a guy who's coming off a really, really good game.
Knock on wood. But what if Campbell were to lay an egg?
Oh, but then it's just but then it's justified that it made sense to start him because he's coming off a really good game, right? So to me, it's easier to justify Campbell having a bad game and getting the start than it is Skinner having a bad game and getting the start, because Skinner has had a game and a half now.
But again, that half game was garbage. Like, it was just garbage time. That game was over.
Okay, so he's had one game and he sucked. And Campbell had one game and was great. Now you're going to go back to the guy.
Well, the other guy, Skinner, needs to find his game. And how do you do that? You play. This is
I don't know. You've been waiting for Jack Campbell. We know Jack Campbell's streaky. He has been wherever he's been. You've been waiting for Jack Campbell to get his stuff figured out, find a groove. Yeah. Looks like it may. I don't know. I'd start Jack Campbell. I
understand.
I have more time for the conversation than I did earlier. 100%. But I think I would start Jack Campbell, because you've been wanting to get Jack Campbell to a spot where you can run him and have some success and get his confidence up.
Yep.
And here's a chance to do it against a team that should be there for the taking for him too.
I'm at a point, Dustin, where if you tell me it's Campbell tomorrow or you tell me it's Skinner tomorrow, I'm just like, yep, okay.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Yep. I hope they play well for the sake of everybody. And I have no real deep qualms with either one playing tomorrow.
Do you think, what would you say the percentages are if Campbell was to start on Thursday, plays well? What are the chances Woody would actually play him on Saturday as well? On a scale of 1 to 100%. Where would you put that at?
60, because I don't know what Jay's
I don't even know if he would go up to 60. I feel like it would be so rare for him to actually run one of these guys 3 in a row, even though if Campbell's playing well, man, I don't see why not.
This is what Woodcroft has done deliberately. He's keeping everybody guessing, including the opposition. So I don't know. That's why I would assume if it was an open competition, one guy's clearly ahead of the other, things are going well, you keep riding him. But then we always get a curveball, it feels like. So that's why I'm if the scenario played out that Campbell plays good, they get a big win, they only allow 1 goal, maybe 2, he stops 30 shots plus, whatever, go to him again on Saturday. Yep, okay, that sounds good. But I don't know. I don't know if that were to happen, hypothetically, when we get to the arena on Saturday for the morning skate. I don't know if we're seeing Jack Campbell in the starters net, just because there's always these question marks.
I really want to get to. I want to get to a place where both of them are playing extremely well, and then we have a really good. We're having a good debate right now.
Yeah.
But a really good debate for all the right reasons, as in who gives you the best chance to win? They're both playing outstanding.
Feels like we're getting towards that.
You think so?
It's again so early, but it could be there in a week and a half. It could go completely sideways, and we could. What the hell happened?
Well,
you
don't want it to go completely sideways.
No, you don't.
That would not be good. Dan Milburn, who's a crackpacker out of Winnipeg, I do believe. I'm tired. My names might be getting mixed up. You want Campbell to be more consistent and get some confidence, and you don't start him after a 40-save performance against an average/weaker team. This isn't Pee Wee hockey. You're not going to hurt Skinner's feelings. I do like that
I
as a way out of
understand
every
that rationale,
conversation.
too. Like,
This
that's-
isn't Pee-wee.
That's why I'm scratching my head. I'm
Right?
like, well,
Skinner's
how do I
parents
feel? Like,
aren't going to call Woody and say, this is ridiculous. We're paying thousands of dollars for him to be on this team. He should be playing.
oh, that sounds like a discussion that should have been saved for the hangout. Great talk with
Man, was that a good discussion
Paul
today.
Sir and Steve Sandor about
I was
that
popping
stuff.
in and out on that one. And it
That
was
was good. Yeah. No, that was interesting. But yeah, check it out if you haven't. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm at the point where it's like, okay, if Campbell goes tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, okay. Or if it's Skinner, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Hey,
See if he
guys.
plays good.
Hey, guys, last year when Campbell needed to find his game, they sat him for 4 months. That comes from Todd in YYC.
Yeah.
And he's saying, Skinner's trying to find his game. We're saying, got to give him games to find his game. Nobody said that about Campbell last year.
Now,
right?
okay.
Now, that being said, Campbell failed every time he did get a chance to find his game. But.
True. And Stu Skinner has a night where he lets in 4 on 16, and he comes out and says, I feel pretty good about my game. I'll let in one bad one. I'd like to have the 4th one back. Whereas after that Dallas game in the afternoon here last year, Jack Campbell goes, my game is just pathetic. Like, that's just the difference between those scenarios. But yes, essentially they sat him for multiple months. He reemerged in January and then kind of tapered back down a little bit. But yeah, last year was weird with the goaltending, and hopefully Skinner finds his form. I think he will too. That's the other thing, Dusty. I'm saying all of this, like, yeah, give Skinner the start because I think Stu Skinner is going to find his game. He just needs to play.
Let's get to this message from one on YouTube. I hope they both play really well so we can trade that 5.5 off the books and add another top line D so we have 2 top D lines and a revolving door for the third pairing. So
that I understand that, and I talked about that on the show in the summer a little bit. Like, if you're going to need to cut some salary in a year or two, the perfect situation would probably, as of today, be you find a way to move on from Jack
Skinner
Campbell.
and a backup.
Yeah, but you'd have to find a reputable backup at a way lower rate than $5 million, and then you'd have to be sure with your guys that are making 5+ that they're giving you everything that they can and still making a big dent in a positive way. And things can change over the course of a year. It's crazy. But I could see that scenario playing out.
Parts of the Oil Stream brought to you by great partners at Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. I'm on their website right now, popeyeschicken.ca. Of course, we are sitting in the Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen studios as well here at Edmonton Sports Talk, if you can't tell. Right there.
Right there.
Staples.
Don't smudge up the
Sorry,
screen.
I shouldn't have touched it.
Oily hands.
I'll get YouTube Trev to get a cloth. And
Oh,
wipe
yeah.
that out. Put it
Go
on
get
the
the
agenda
chamois.
for the meeting today.
Microfiber.
So if you go to popeyeschicken.ca right now, right at the top, it says the ghost pepper chicken sandwich. And you can just order now. Like, right on the website, It's just like, if you want that sandwich, you just click the order now button. And it looks delicious. The ghost pepper comes with some kick. Yeah, we'll get into that for sure as well. Ghost pepper comes with some kick. The blackened deluxe chicken sandwich. If you want to get the spicy blackened deluxe chicken sandwich, my goodness. I mean, I'm not a hot sauce guy, and this is not hot sauce, but it's spicy. It's spicy.
In a good way.
Yeah, but you got to have like 2 liters of milk kicking around if you're me to try to take that thing down.
That's a lot of milk.
I tried. Was it a ghost pepper? Anyway, sometimes when I was working at Save-On, in like a big thing of bananas, there'd be like a pepper, or there'd be like in a big thing of peppers, there'd be like one pepper that's different. And it was like this, it was basically hazing at Save-On Foods back in the day. But in the produce department, if you found one of those and you hadn't tried one before, you had to try, and I don't know technically if it was a ghost pepper or like hotter than a ghost pepper, but I found one, and I'm not a big spicy guy, so I had to, they made me bite it.
No.
And I started chewing, and it was ridiculous. I went straight down. The store was open. Like, customers were in the store.
No.
I went straight down to the dairy department in the aisle. Like, I didn't even go into the cooler in the back. I went straight down to the dairy department, grabbed a 1 liter of milk, cracked it open, and chugged it right there in front of everyone.
Oh, that's awful.
So you might need something like that if you're going with spicy black and deluxe. But Uber Eats, DoorDash, skip the dishes, or just go on the website, hit order now, and get yourself taken care of with the ghost pepper chicken sandwich, black and deluxe chicken sandwich, of course, the regular classic chicken sandwich. And when they got that new location that they're going to be sharing with somebody else on 178th, where the Red Robins used to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to become a Popeyes / I've heard Fat Burger or Five Guys. I'm not 100% sure
So you
yet.
could get a chicken option, and then your burger option. That's great.
Yeah, and if you're a significant other,
Furby.
you know,
Furby's
okay.
a smart guy.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He's a smart guy.
He's a genius. That's why he's with
Yeah.
the Oil Stream and Edmonton Sports
There
Talk.
we go.
All right, so procedure has begun at Commonwealth.
Yeah, very cool.
If Maddie was here, we could throw that look up. But if you haven't seen it,
know.
can you tweet that out right now?
It is tweeted.
Oh, is it
That's
okay?
why
You tweeted it?
Yeah, I tweeted.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I saw it on Twitter.
Ouch.
I didn't even know it was you.
That's okay.
Sorry, man. Turn it again so I can see here.
Let me full screen.
You know what?
this
I'll just
bad
bring it
boy.
up on.
Here.
I'll just bring it up on here too.
I'll full screen it.
Okay, full screen it,
Yeah, let's go like this.
and then we'll try to get look-see at it for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there it is. Like
I mean, you can't really.
you can't really see it.
But it essentially it's the Heritage Classic, the look of the field in stadium, and it has. Remember the old table hockey game with not the
Yeah,
thick
they look like
plastic
table hockey guys.
They
Yeah,
look like table hockey guys, and you got the Flames guy, you got the Oilers guy, and then it's got the oil derricks with the pipes underneath, and it says Edmonton Oilers, NHL logo, Calgary Flames. There's a Tim Hortons logo, and then they created the medallion to honor the 20th anniversary of the original Heritage Classic back in 2003, and the medallion is on the south side of the field below the rink. And I said, what do you guys think? Like, is it too simple or is it just right? And our boy JMO says, understated but smartly so, didn't try to cram in every Alberta iconic image. So I just wondered because, like, I like the look of it, but, like, it's just, all it is like, black around all the images.
I think it looks pretty sharp in this image.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what it looks like once it's done up.
I don't know if they're going to do it up more. That's the thing. The NHL's
No, but
away.
I mean once it's locked in, like it's just black. Like all of the field at Commonwealth will be black.
Yeah.
And then the rink right in the middle. I do like the derrick and then the pipes underneath.
That's
if you're looking at it from the other side, it will be upside down.
Yes.
Right. It would have been nice if they could have had it so it somehow like looked the same from both sides.
Like, yeah,
like
I'm
flip
sure
it like a mirror type of thing. Like,
yeah.
But I do like the table hockey guys. I think that's a nice look.
Yeah.
There's not too much going on there overall. Like if I'm saying on a scale of 1 to 10, part of me thinks like, oh, it's really slick. But I think I'm probably giving it like a 7.5.
7.5. Yeah, it's still a solid rating. DB, a.k.a. AJ Wooderson, says, where are the mountains from the bubble video? Well played. Well played.
That's actually pretty good.
I would go on NHL Network Radio with Dennis Bernstein, Ryan Payton, and Dave Pagnotta on their show, The Hot Stove. And they were here for the bubble, and they, up until like a few months ago, would mock the mountains from the bubble thing mercilessly. And
they should. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I got in on the fun. And
yeah.
They'd be like, Tom, how's it going in downtown Edmonton? I'd be like, well, boys, the sun is shining off the snow-capped mountains just outside of Edmonton city limits. And we would howl. We were laughing.
I got a running joke with my wife. My wife. That, because I'm from BC, I grew up like in the mountains.
Literally
in
the
Cranbrook.
mountains, yes.
And my joke is always like when we get down south of Calgary and into Calgary, like where you can start to see the mountains, I always go, oh, look, there's BC. And she goes, no, the mountains. Alberta's got lots of mountains.
We've got a small smidgen of them.
That's BC over there. You got a small little sliver of it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, let's be honest, those mountains are in BC. And it just, like the kids know it now. Like, so they know I'm chirping her and trolling her. But, yeah, Doc says it's only a 5 out of 10. He said he would have liked to seen some of the mountains in there as well.
What if the NHL trolled itself by putting mountains in that image?
That kind of would have been sort of funny.
The ultimate troll.
That'd have been pretty good.
No, maybe they
I think Minner replied to your tweet too and said, I sure hope the sun isn't shining bright like a diamond on the 29th.
Hey-o.
Be some glare off of here.
There would be
for fans watching.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. We'll have to see.
They moved the start time later in the day because that game in Winnipeg covered that one, the last Heritage Classic the Oilers were a part of. They tried to start, I think, at like 2 in the afternoon. The glare, the sun. It was a beautiful day in Winnipeg, and the sun hit the paint and the inlays on the ice, and so like the blue lines and the logos and stuff. And what it does is it absorbs the sun and it melts the the ice, so they had to like cover it, and they waited until the sun went down, and it was just a total pain in the ass. And it was like, what is going on here? So they want to avoid that this time around.
I would have to think this is William Huff wrapping this thing. Eh?
Well, Carly Dermott responded that it's her family's company that's doing it. I thought William Huff is super busy too.
Yeah, well,
So, like
but they
Blake's
usually
company.
wrap Commonwealth and
And Rogers.
and
Place.
Rogers.
So, yeah, but Carly replied saying that they're doing it. So
I didn't even know Carly was in the biz.
she's in the biz.
Wow,
I
so
just
many
found
people.
out today too.
Yeah, so many people in the biz.
We're
wrapping
trying to
things.
lock down Pat LaForge for next week.
Yeah, that'd be
join
fun
us.
on the hangout. Yeah, that'd be really good. Actually,
Pat, if
We
you're
can get
listening,
Patty in.
I'm going to get back to you here. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
been busy.
no, that'd be good. All right, so that's gonna do it for this this episode of the Oil Stream. Now, once again, tentatively mark it on your calendar next Tuesday for that Oilers Wild game. Pre and post game with Tommy, Capilano Boston Pizza. So we'll have the speaker set up. You'll be able to go to Capilano BP, sit in the lounge, listen to the pregame show, watch Tommy on the pregame show, watch the game, and then boom, right back into the postgame show with Tommy as well. So we'll officially announce that. I'm just waiting for an email from BPs to confirm with that franchise owner. But it's looking like it's going to be Capilano on Tuesday night, a week from yesterday, for pre and post.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Taking it on the road, baby.
That'll be pretty good. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So make plans. We'd love to really pack the hell out of that place to the point where they're like, damn, there's too many people here. Because then maybe we'll get to do it more often. So, yeah, make plans. Capilano Boston Pizza. Be there or be square for the Oil Stream pre and post game show. I'm tired today.
You're ready for a
We
panino.
had the thing last
Yeah.
night. There's no nap today because we got meeting.
Yes.
And then Marshall has practice tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be begged by this evening.
Dude.
And then I got to do, I don't have to do it, but I love doing it. I
Crack
got
in
a
a
six box
Hey.
break tonight over at Crack
Met
Pack
Wayne
Card Breaks.
yesterday, too.
Yeah, well, he's great, right?
Oh, and the game we played, I won some packs.
Yeah, I got packs right here.
Yeah,
for
I
you,
know.
so.
And there's a stack. I had these cards, the 90, 91
Upper Deck.
upper deck cards.
Yeah, let's
like
each
these were
crack a pack to
kindergarten
wrap
for
up.
me. Yeah, let's crack
Because
a pack.
maybe there's an Oiler in here.
There was 3 packs that I won because we were playing a game.
We played
Everybody was
Pack
playing.
Wars yesterday.
Pack Wars, and I saved the 3 that I won, and I opened them when I got home. And
Yeah.
I didn't get anything great.
Let's see here. Upper Deck Series 1 came out today. You can get that at Wayne's. And I filled a break in like an hour today. We're going to do that tonight. Any Oilers in here?
Oh,
Ooh, what do you mean, oh?
I got an insert.
What? Let me see. You got the hologram?
I got the hologram.
Who is it? Is it Wayne?
It looks like Kelly Bookberger.
No, it's not. Maybe it's Messier.
Oh, that looks like Mark Messier.
I was gonna say. Let me see. I don't think Bucky's got. Oh yeah, that's the Moose.
Okay, that's Messier.
It's 2 guys. It's the Moose and Brett Hall.
That's cool.
That's the Moose and Brett Hall.
Okay, so
this was some of the first technology added to cards actually back in the day.
like there's
That's pretty cool.
no number on the back or anything
No,
like
it's not
that.
numbered or anything.
So that's an insert. But like this year I was in kindergarten. I think this is Yager's rookie card year.
This would have come out
1991?
in. This is 1991. It's the first run of Upper Deck.
Maybe I was first grade.
Very first run.
So I got. Did you go through your cards yet?
Yeah, I did. No Oilers.
Okay. Jimmy Carson.
Oh, that ties in.
Ray Ferraro.
Okay.
Marty McSorley.
Oh,
with the
wow.
Kings.
Real nice pack.
Rod Langway, one of these like painted ones.
Yeah, those are
So
kind of neat too.
Adam Graves still as an Oiler.
There we go.
Pete Peters, great guy from around here.
Local guy.
Awesome dude. Brian Propp, Danton Cole, Rod Gilbert.
Roddy Gilbert.
Roddy Gilbert. Adam Creighton, Kurt Giles, and old Tony Herkus.
Tony
as
Herkus.
a Nordique.
Herkus Circus.
Herkus Circus. I think
yeah.
Belzy played with him in Europe or something like that, or in the minors in the AHL.
Really?
Yes.
He was still grinding along at that point when Belzy
He played
was
for a long time, yeah.
Either he was really old or Belzy was super young in that
Both.
situation.
Both.
But all right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. We'll be back on Friday, of course, live, crystal clear, static-free since 23 right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tell your friends about the Oil Stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at noon. Tell them about all of the content we're turning out at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and we will be back. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Tommy back with a hangout tomorrow at 9. We will talk to you then.